Tommy Rex, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host. Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, The Offspring, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at sonictemplefestival.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and I am.
And today is Friday the 13th.
The 13th.
So it's just no ordinary boondoggle.
No, not at all. In fact, I think we even got the weather setting the mood for us today here in the Cleveland area.
Storm clouds brewing, lightning, destruction, mayhem, wind. Yeah, everything there.
And metal.
Yeah, perfect.
But what was I know we've been talking about doing this for like the past couple of years, and you're a hard man to pin down.
Yeah.
The man of mystery that you are. But I like to talk about Midnight's roots a little bit, in the Cleveland music scene. Like, when was it that, a lot of you guys were from some other bands, but when Midnight came together, let's talk about, how that concept came to be, and
Well, it was just like you said, other bands. Of course, you're in other bands, and bands are great, but also like personalities. You have two of them, or many, or most. I do, at least. I have many personalities.
Yeah.
And with bands, sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it just sucks if you can't get everybody on the same page. So that was basically the idea behind it, was to make some music without being in a band. So I was like, okay, how can I do that? And so there was some figuring out to do, of course, but that was the idea of it. Just to be in a band, make up songs that I wanted to hear, not have anybody else's opinion, just be a complete tyrant, dictator, jerk, asshole.
Nice. So finding members on the same page, but also it's by taking the identities out of it, it kind of helps leave the egos out, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, that was part of it too. Because you wanted something that, I just didn't want to be dude in shirt and jeans, but then I also wanted to exactly, take the face away, take all that away, something kind of that is you can listen to, watch, and not worry about oh man, look at my cool leads. No, look at my cool leads. Well, listen to this cool drum riff. It's not about that. It's not about any one person, including myself. History has shown. I could die tomorrow, and some other moron can put on this get-up and continue to go around selling T-shirts around the world. So
that was part of the idea too, to keep Midnight.
Yeah.
Make Midnight something that could continue even.
Yeah, it could. Why not? Music is meant to continue.
Yeah.
I used to get really hung up.
We just saw that with Nunslaughter kind of too.
Yeah. I got hung up in
Rest
band
in
members.
peace, Jim Kanye.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like a Parma, not even a Cleveland legend, a Parma legend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, it's come to grips with it's more about the music. The same thing, you don't go, if you go to hear a symphony, or concert symphony play Beethoven's Ninth, you're like, oh, that sucks. I'm not going. It's a fucking bunch of posers, man. There's Beethoven's not even in the band anymore.
Yeah, gotcha. But a lot of you guys in the Cleveland music scene for a while, but then you come together as Midnight. Well, first of all, I'm always curious, who chose the name? What was directed towards Midnight?
It was just pretty simple. Actually, of course it's simple. And I was just wanted something. I didn't want like some long, unspellable, unpronounceable name. I'm a Kiss fan. Kiss.
Yeah.
It's there. It's a generic word. You Google Kiss, and now you'll Google Kiss, and the hottest band in the land will come up. But Midnight. It was just took it from the first lines of Venom, Leave Me in Hell, Midnight, 666, Torment, Bestial Sex.
Nice.
A motto to live by.
As you know, you played for many years in the Cleveland scene. But when the Midnight band came together, especially with losing the egos and the identities, did you expect it to grow into this big cult following?
No, of course not. Of course not. No, it's cool, but it's just like you said. There's no ego there. It's we're Clevelanders. It's always been about the music. It's never been about anything else but that. So like our good guitar player Daniel DK Vajsley says, he's like, man, you're the type of guy that just like sits in the middle seat in an airplane and doesn't give a fuck. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to a gig in a different country. I don't give a fuck where I sit. Put me in the middle seat. I don't give a shit.
Well, and that's the benefits too of the mass.
Yeah.
You're not going to be getting hounded. You can go out in public.
It's not about that. It's just it's just about like, I mean, it's not about ego. It's not about you need this amenity and that amenity. It's like, just get me on the stage and ready to play.
Now it's funny because like seeing how like worldwide you guys have become, like you said, playing Europe and stuff like that. But it's like I met a guy, became friends with this gentleman, Joe Daly. He writes for Metal Hammer and stuff. First time I met him was kind of through a Zoom setting.
He's from Chicago area, I thought, right? Joe Daly?
I don't know if I think he might have lived there at some time, but he lives in San Diego now.
Oh, okay.
And I swear,
that name.
He writes for Metal Hammer and stuff. But the first time I ever saw him on a Zoom meeting, he was wearing a Midnight shirt.
Oh, right.
So I, initially like sent him a private chat, like, fucking awesome shirt, dude. And then we started talking. I'm like, hey, I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Blah, blah, blah. So, that's how I knew. I was just like, wow, Midnight is like,
Yeah.
You guys are out there, man.
We're definitely out there.
So I want to ask about, kind of go through some of the songs that, you've been doing this for a while now with Midnight, but let's talk about like Hellish Expectations, inspiration with that.
Well, that album was just, it was meant to be a reaction to my own music. I just recorded some stuff with Noah here in Cleveland, and just one of those kind of like a bad day at the office kind of things where I went in and I recorded. It's the first day of recording the previous album. I was like, man, that sounds too wimpy. I was like, I could do better. And then so I went back that weekend and just made up all those songs in that weekend. Just wanted just like a 2-minute banger after 2-minute banger, like a Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing, or Age of Quarrel or something, where it's just like every song, just like where it's under 30 minutes and just every song is just a crusher, not long. So that was the idea behind it. So that turns out the album that I in question before that, I love it and it was fine, but it was just one of those things where you go there, it's the first day of recording and I expected to hear a masterpiece of Pink Floyd, The Wall or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was kind of the idea behind that. It was just kind of a reaction just to make a face smasher in a weekend.
Gotcha. So one of my favorites, actually, and that's just because I'm a little bit of a weirdo anyway, but
we're from Cleveland, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
That's.
But Sex Witchery, but it's SZEX.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain like the spelling?
It's just Eastern European shit, It was just kind of like you in Hungary, and everything has that Z in it. And it always sounds so greasy and so dirty. Like, you know, it had that. So it's just, again, you know, weirdo shit. Like that's why I thought it was weird too, because it was just like when you put that Z in anything, you know, so any word that you can just apply that Z, it just sounded funny to me, because it just had that greasy mustached type person. Yeah, you just had this picture of it. You know, so that was. I know it's not maybe a deep occult type answer, but that's the idea behind that Z.
Well, it's like the name caught my attention, of course, because I'm perverted, but
yeah,
sex witchery.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking of the movie Conan the Barbarian. You remember that scene where he's hooking up with that one chick and she starts turning into the thing and he throws her in the fire?
Yeah.
They're like, wow, that'd have been cool to add, you know, have that as a background for the music video or something. And then Nuclear Savior.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me like the message in that song.
Well, again, just my ignorance of life is just that nuclear savior, man. That, you know, there's one way to save this world.
Just blow it up, start it all over.
Start again.
Yeah, yeah.
In one sentence, you know. So that's my peace and love song.
Nice.
Yeah, I want a nice, peaceful world. Let's just get rid of this one. We'll start a new one.
Yeah.
That's the way.
That's one way to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The playing field.
Yeah.
So, latest album, Steel Rust and Disgust.
Yeah.
I love that name. That's awesome. What was
well, that's all Northeast Ohio bands, you know, and two original tunes dedicated to this area of you know, Cleveland, Northeast Ohio stuff. But it was just something, an idea, just a love letter to this city, and to have a little tribute to maybe some bands that from this area that I loved, but maybe people outside of the area don't know, or maybe people in this area don't know about certain bands.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people don't know False Hope or Sinistrike or something like that, but those bands are immensely influential in my childhood, you know, in my really young years, you know, not even just like, I mean, as a kid, like, oh wow, okay, that's what you do, you know, like some people had, you know, like you have, oh man, when I heard the Ramones, and I said I can do that. Well, it was like when I heard Sinistrike, like these dudes like live next door to me. It's like, oh wow, I could do it too. They live next door to me. I could do that, you know. So I'm always indebted to these bands, you know.
I mean, I just love the name too. What a way to, pretty much explain Cleveland in 3 words. You know?
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, on there, Cleveland Metal. You guys performed that.
Yeah.
That track. Let's talk about, you know, picking that one, doing that one.
Well, that was a tune that I wrote, just that it was, again, I was like, well, a thanks to my mom and dad for deciding to procreate in this city.
Yeah.
Because they could have did it in some other crummy town, but they chose this crummy town. Yeah. But I love, you know, that's why I said, that's why I love it. It's a, I mean, and I'm thankful for it, man. You know, but like
could have been like Millersburg Metal or something.
Millersburg
Metal or something.
Yeah.
You know,
I forget what county that's even in, like the Tuscarora County.
Yeah. You know, anyway. I mean, which, as we already joked earlier, you are kind of the Amish representative of the metal community. Yeah. So
technophobe, I guess.
But talking about, I mean, where you guys started, where it's at today. I mean, what's that been like for you? You know, I mean, talk about, like, you know, like you said, you guys started in Cleveland, didn't expect it to get as big as you got, and then now getting to go do what you love and see the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much different, to tell you the truth. It's like I'm still doing exactly the same thing. I still record the same way. I still have the same mentality. Everything's very DIY, very, very organic. Nothing is forced. So nothing has really changed other than the element of time and age. So,
now, can I ask, like when you were young and you first...
when I was young.
When you were, you've already given mom and dad a shout out, but what were some of like the earliest influences that kind of led you on to the metal path?
Well, yeah, as a little kid, just hearing music on the radio, anything, just being in the car, or just like you would hear 70s AM, FM radio. So you'd hear a mishmash of, Dan Fogelberg, just hearing radio. Then then it got a little older, and then like Duran, or just radio stuff. I didn't know about really albums or anything. I didn't know about it's like, oh, what's this stuff called? It's music. And then I heard Van Halen really was like, that was the thing when I heard this guy screaming on the radio. It wasn't just like a nice tuneful thing. This dude screaming. I was like, man, what's this fucker screaming about? Man, this is great. So that was the definite door opener. It was Van Halen. And then it was, okay, what's a older stoner kid down the street. Oh man, you like Van Halen? Check this out. And they gave me cassettes of Defenders of the Faith and Peace of Mind, and those were at the time those were the two current albums by Iron Maiden and Priest, and it just kept getting, well, okay, what else is out there? Just like anything, it's like, man, you just want more and more stuff.
Yeah.
So that was 1984. That's when the early '84. That's when it really heavy metal for me. So I was let's see 9 at that time. No, 10, because in December of '84 I'd been 11. Yes, I was 10. Okay, mathematically sound. I was 10, and then just getting into Priest, Maiden, all that kind of stuff. Black Sabbath.
What was it that made you pick guitar?
Well, it kind of started it was first bass, because guitar, because I heard Eddie Van Halen. I was like, okay, when I found this acoustic guitar in the trash, I was like, oh, cool, there's a guitar. And then you pick it up and you're like, well, why you figure, okay, I have a guitar, why didn't I sound like Eddie Van Halen? I just didn't, it didn't register to me that you had to learn how to play guitar. And so that was the kind of, and then I figured, like, oh, okay, it's an electric guitar, and you have to like spend time to learn how to play this stupid thing. So then my other friend got the electric guitar because we were going to start a band. That was the thing that you wanted to do. You wanted to make up some music. So he's like, okay, you get the electric guitar, I'll get a bass, I'll be Gene Simmons, and then we'll have a band.
Now, got quite an extensive catalog with Midnight, and this is going to be like, it's like picking your favorite kid. But is there a particular song that you just love playing for the audience the most live?
Playing live? Yeah, like you said, it is all, they're all tunes that I like, and they all have their, but of course, yeah, one kid does end up in jail, even though you still love him. The other, is a fine, upstanding citizzen. So, but I mean, You Can't Stop Steel is always cool. It has a good flow. All this stuff off Hellish Expectations, man. I really do. I think that's, I'm not saying that just because it's like the most current of the original material, but if I were a fan of the band and not a member, that would be my favorite. I mean, it's just like 25 minutes of smashers, So yeah.
Now, before we get ready to wrap up, I want to ask you a few questions that I normally ask my guests that I have on here. And this is going to be probably a tough one for you as well, but we talked about the earlier inspirations for you as a fan of music, but who are the top 3 artists you're listening to today?
Amigo the Devil, I'm listening to. But no, That's friend of the devil. If you know.
Yeah. Thanks for the translation.
I'm doing my best Chris Farley imitation there. El Nino, the Nino. But top three. You know, if you're just like saying as like what you're into like this week and just kind of like, an oddball one would be the solo John Cale stuff. Been on a kick of that as of recent. And I got the a Deep Purple Made in Japan box set. So it's nothing new, but it's new to me in the way that they have the full, complete each concert from the night that made up the Made in Japan album. So I've been really dissecting that, which has been enjoyable. Each different night. What's another third one? You know what was a funny one? As what Paul Stanley said, I've been listening to some of like my favorite songwriter, me. Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that, but I had to throw it out there because Paul Stanley's a fucking jerk. No, he's not. But I would go with those two. And leave the third open for interpretation.
All right. Now, all the tours that you've done, do you have any favorite road warriors that you've shared the road with?
Oh man, we've been lucky because everybody's been cool, man. We tour with like my childhood heroes of people, like Cider, Merciful Fate, Venom, and Samhain, Danzig. And everybody's been Obituary, Creator, everybody's been over the top cool. No one's ever been that because you can't, and if you do, you're just a bad human. It's like no matter how big you are in this type of music, it's still just it's still a low grade totem pole type of music, man. It's like heavy metal is not for the masses, so we're just a small group of humans that chose to, or it chose us, however you want to see it, that get into this kind of stuff. So been lucky.
Now, I like asking this question, and I don't know, how this will, but like when you were a child, what was
You're asking a lot about my childhood. I better put you on a watch list.
Yeah, might want to. When you were a child, though, what was your favorite toy that you can recall?
My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I was a weirdo too. Just like I said, I didn't really I collected toys. I played sports and stuff. When I was a little kid, you ride your bike, you throw the football, play baseball. But toys, I just collected them, collected Star Wars shit.
You never took them out of the boxes, so you actually got money there, huh?
Yeah, I take them out of the boxes and I'd, arrange them, do stuff, make lists of them. It's like abnormal shit. Yeah, I wasn't the kid ripping arms off and setting them on fire and
bury them in the sandbox and shit like that. Man,
that was my
good
cousin.
for you.
That was my cousin.
That was me too.
He
Unfortunately,
was drawing pubic hair on Princess Leia's.
Nice. And then, I like to ask this because I got into this podcasting thing. I'm retired Navy, and when I was overseas, I would like to just escape and come back home and listen to podcasts and things like that. So I know a lot of, we talk about the nuclear savior, but any message you have for our military members currently serving overseas?
All of my family is military. My dad was in Vietnam. My uncle was in Vietnam. My cousin who drew Princess Leia's pubic hair is a Marine. It's like, I'm not a political person at all, and I appreciate the question. So I'm appreciative of living in America. Like you said, we've been all around the world. I appreciate living in America, man. So, if I think that's enough said. Yeah.
I think you guys should cover James Brown living in America sometime.
Fuck yeah. There's something else, you can appreciate this too. We played in Poland a couple of years ago. It was right when Russia and they're having their stuff going on, and you know, I'm walking around, and I hear American voices, you know, not like English. I just hear American. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. We're in Krakow or whatever the fuck, or wherever we were, and so I was like, oh man, you guys are from? He was like, yeah, we're from California. We came to see Midnight. I was like, well, I'm in Midnight, and so we were just chatting, and they said, yeah, they were in the army and right on the stationed right on the border, you know, right in Poland and Russia, and it was a huge deal for them to come to this gig. Like, man, we put in the time to get the weekend off and to come to this gig, and man, so that was like one of those times, like, man, it's like I said, the ego is in check, you know. It's like, we just play music, you know. These dudes have their life at risk, and then, you know, so it was a treat for them to come to see us. I'm like, man, you know, it was really cool.
Awesome. Jamie, man, I appreciate your time, man. I want to be cognizant of your rituals and whatever to get ready to perform, but I appreciate that we finally got to get this thing done together, man. It was awesome, dude. And if I could ask one last favor, you mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just introduce yourself. You're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Memory. You know, let's see what
the podcast is called Today's Boondoggle. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, thanks, listeners, for listening to today's Boondoggle, and keep listening, or your ears will fall off.
Nice, awesome, brother. Thank you for the time.
Listen up! Hold on to your seats. Grab your girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, SO1 Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelts.